Turns up today as we head into the game. Millenium starting out as the blue team, and they are of course up against Gambit as the red team from top to bottom. So, what will we see from level 1?
Looking lane-wise, very early on, bot lane from Gambit should have the advantage with the very long-range poke they have. The mid lane, Lulu should be able to poke out Swain. He's a bit of a slow starter, he needs a few levels and his ultimate to really start doing these 1v1s. And notice here, Millenium actually want to go aggressive in. Maybe they just want to go in and try and catch someone out or get a D-board later on to spot where Evelyn starts.
Millenium, of course, they are one of the few teams that do go for those big 5-man invades, and they seem to be setting up for this one. They are going to see Genja off at the side there, but I think he will have caught vision of them all as well, which means Millenium will step away. Of course, there's wards not off cooldown on the trinkets yet, so haven't been able to place any wards just yet.
It would be the smart thing for Millenium though, if they really want to spot out Evelyn, to get in and get a ward around the Wraith camp or maybe the Wolf camp or the blue buff, because the way you spot Evelyn is by having wards on the camps, so you see her clear them, because that's where she pops out of stealth. Otherwise she's just going to walk around, you won't really notice her. Like here, Arnea is actually going to spot him.
Yep, he gets a little bit of a hate spike on towards Arnea. Starts off the first scratch of the nails, but not too worried about that one.
So we really need to pay attention also to this top lane. You have the Dawn's Ring Elise, very aggressive early start, a lot of early game damage. And also you have the Aatrox. We know how good he is, how much damage he can do early on. We also know how risky it is, because you can't have to all in, you need to jump in with him. If the enemy jungler is there, you will be punished, because that is your jump. You need to use it to get into the face of Elise and actually really get some damage onto her.
As it stands, it looks like it's going to be a red buff start for both junglers. We do see Arnea, he's down the bottom. No help, though, from his bottom lane. So it tells me that Creaton and J-Reed, they want to get the jump on Genja and Edward. They want to get that level 2 first.
Yeah, they simply want to make sure that they're not getting pressured out early on, because with Leona, if you do get pressured out early, there's no way to come back before you get some levels, and there's a lot of CS you're going to lose. So they want to make sure that we're there early to push the wave. And you see Gambit straight away, they're just taking full control of the lane with the range.
Well, Edward has built up that stun, lands it on towards Creaton. J-Reed somehow sidestepped it. It looked like it was going to land on him, but he didn't get stunned up by it. Instead, it will be looking like level 2 for Gambit first.
They will be getting it first, so you see Millenium already backing off. They want to make sure they're not being caught out in the lane once the level 2 hits for Gambit side, so they both flash away or maybe even just dying. Smart enough. Back to top lane though. Kevin very aggressive early on. Darren already been pulled down a little bit.
So who do we give this lane to? Because this is not a lane we are used to seeing. You know, that we haven't seen an Elise versus Aatrox probably since the summer of 2013. I do recall Elise being fairly popular by the likes of Soaz. He had a crazy stats, win stats like 87% on it.
Very early on, I will give it to Elise. She has very high damage in the early stages. Also, the fact she has to execute, because Darren, he will go low when he uses his ability, so with the execute onto the Spider Form Q from Kevin, it's a lot of extra damage onto Darren. You see Arnea, he's already up here in top lane. He might want to kill Darren early on.
Poison coming down, has got Cocoon available, maybe he's going to throw it out. It will not quite catch. Darren just jumping away from that one early.
And that was the jump we talked about from Aatrox. It makes him escape really easily. Also very good for him to engage with, but that's the risky part. So smart for him, he didn't use it here, he just waited with it, jumped back to third when he saw Arnea.
Well, potential counter coming out from Diamond. I think he's just going to go straight for the golems though. He knows that Arnea is off in the top lane, which means he's going to get straight in towards Arnea's jungle and take away those golems gold.
And he stays around his bot lane in case something should happen. Arnea though, he's very far away, he's going to go for the Wraith, so it will be very, very risky to dive this one, and I think Diamond will just back off.
Diamond's been spotted out there. J-Reed's going to go in because the Zenith Blade on towards Edward. Edward happy to turn it back around, put the stun on J-Reed, but Diamond didn't want a part of that. He's just going to walk off and go for more farming.
And look how well Gambit is using again this early game power they have with Annie and Lucian. They simply try and zone away Sivir from all the CS. Creaton is already fairly low on mana, so he won't be able to use his Q too often to actually CS with. So Gambit is doing a nice job of simply trying to keep him down.
Creaton popping that spell shield a little bit early there. Eddie had only just simply used a basic attack. Arnea now rotating down towards his bottom lane. Let's see if he's going to go aggressive.
There is a ward in the tribal drop here, so they will spot him if he tries to run around. So he actually relies on J-Reed to land his stun, and then he jumps safeguards into him and he started. But no, he backs away.
I wonder if they're going to try and bait this one. You can see Diamond moving into position here, and purposely Genja and Edward are sticking around. They're purposely trying to bait it in, but Arnea is not taking that bait and he's heading for the mid.
It's so smart what Diamond is actually doing on Evelyn, because you can stand in the middle of the lane and you will not be noticed by the minions, so it's very easy for him to get in for the counter gank if Arnea is there. They did see him back off though, so Diamond was just there for safety, and now he's wise enough backing off, gonna go shop and then continue his farming.
Of course, these are two junglers that really excel at trying to find kills, trying to be aggressive. We'll see whether that over-aggression gets punished by either team so far. This mid lane, we haven't seen a great deal of it right now. It is Kerp up against Alexic, which is Lulu versus Swain.
And the good thing for Kerp is, as long as he can keep almost even in farm, get the farm he needs early on, build up the Rod of Ages early, and then go into more damage items like maybe a Sonya's or Death Cap, go that route, he will be strong when it gets to team fights. He just needs to make sure he can get all the farm here in the lane and not give up any kills for Alex.
Alexic keeping fear on that bottom lane, just stepping into the bush, making a little bit of insecurity, and look at that, they pinged on towards the bush. They're assuming that Alex actually just put a ward in there. Clever play from Alex, maybe trying to bait out Aranea to go towards the top where he wants to put that ward.
Yeah, it's actually very smart. If you can get another... Oh, snare hitting from Kerp.
Does get the snare down, doesn't really do a great deal of damage. That bird, of course, taking away the damage from Kerp, just keeping the tick on towards him. Aranea is going in towards the top lane, but we can see Darian is already backing off.
And we're actually back to the mid lane there. We had the snare coming in from Kerp. The general combo you want to do, if you can, is eat them first, then you apply your Q, which slows them, and then you snare them afterwards to get the full damage, because your E will increase damage taken by the rest of your abilities. So if he can manage to land that, he will actually do quite a lot of damage onto Alex, but he has the shield and his ultimate, so it's going to be very hard for Kerp to actually kill him.
Yeah, of course he is maxing out Torment, which is that E, so that's what Kerp's going for right now. Put 3 points into it. Meanwhile, of course, Alexic lingering around this middle lane. You can see Kerp there using his Scarecrow form to just farm out that wave. And if there is a big wave there, it's dangerous times for Alexic. He does not want to engage when that's happening.
No, it was smart by him, because he knew if he moved forward, Kerp would try and land the snare, and then Aranea could come in from the side potentially. But also look at how well Kerp is actually keeping his mana, because every time he gets a minion kill, he gets mana from his passive, and he's been using it really well. Alex has been using a lot of mana and trying to harass him early on. It simply meant that now he can't harass him anymore.
Oh, we saw Diamond taking away the large Wraith again. He's heading on down. No early aggression from either team. They may be learning from previous sessions, but Diamond now is going to come around to Kerp. And we are going to see Alexic going. No mana on Alexic. Can't go for it.
Exactly, no mana. They can't go for it. Down in the bot lane though, some aggression. Jerry, he tries to go in, get some poke down, and then back off. It's very smart play by him, especially because Praeton is fairly low in the background. So as long as they hit Jerry, it's okay for the bot lane.
Getting close to level 6 here, these two bottom laners. So as soon as those ultimates come out, we may well see Edward going for that flash Tibbers. Both are available. Praeton just getting poked low enough. He has got On the Hunt coming up in a few moments to try and get out of there along with the solar flare of J-Re, but could be a hard engage coming out from Gambit.
So back to the top lane though, which we talked about earlier on, who would win early. Darian is actually doing a very nice job with his farming. He's gone back, he picked up a Vampire Scepter, so he has more sustain. And Kevin is actually more or less forced to stay away and try and CS from a distance, while Darian, he's just farming away. So he's actually winning this lane at the moment.
Doing a very good job, and once he starts getting that farm going, he's going to be happy building up that blood well that he gets on Darian. A lot of champions in positions we're not used to seeing. Of course, Darian was played by... Darian wasn't played. Aatrox was played by Freddy last week. Maybe he was in disguise, I don't know. Englishman was a Russian, who knows. The Swag Lord maybe did make an appearance. It looks like they're going to go aggressive though. The Bloodwell, of course, is available for Darian, and it may well be required. He is going to get taken down. Did pop his ultimate. Kevin ready and waiting to try and go back on for this one, but has to step away.
But it's a very nice play by Kevin, showing the all-in potential is in his favor against Darian. He popped the ultimate from Darian's side, but it wasn't enough to actually take down Kevin. So now he popped the passive. It means that if Aranea decides to come up there, they can easily dive him or generally just pick up a kill.
Both blue buffs were picked up by the mid laners. We do see aggression on towards Creator. Flash Tibbers was on it enough. The Ignite is running. One more tick should take him down. It's Edward with first blood yet again.
And just as you mentioned earlier, once the Tibbers was there from Edward, he could just pop it into the face of Creator. They've done such a good job keeping him low or keeping him around the 50% mark through the entire laning phase, and there was nothing Millenium could do to actually hit it back. So just overall very nice play, waiting for level 6, then went all in for it, Ignite, Tibbers, everything, and he didn't spell shield it.
Big wave pushed in, but Kerp should be able to clear that one out. Walks it into Bird Firm and takes down all those minions. Tries to use the Never move, and Alexic not going to get caught out with that one. Both blue buffs on these mid laners now, and both have been back to buy. You can see Rod of Ages almost completed by Kerp. Meanwhile, the Athene's and Holy Grail for Alexic.
And it's actually very big for Kerp, the fact he's getting his Rod of Ages so early, because he's gotten the farm he needs in the lane. Next time he backs off, he will be able to complete it and then stack it up. And it's actually becoming a very strong item when you get it this early, so it's very nice for him. It's going to give him the mana he needs, and he might be trying to go aggressive on Alex.
Just try and go for it, Never move, almost caught, had to flash out of it. Aranea did follow it through, and you can see Alexic using that wild growth, nearly got him down. The Ignite is running. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Darian trying to run away from this one, but Diamond is going to come in towards Kevin. Kevin got no escape now. He's already repelled on this one. He will go down. Darian using the ultimate to finish him off.
Great counter gang by Diamond. It was actually Darian who had pushed the lane all the way up to the turret. So Diamond expected Kevin to go for Darien, win the fight, so he was there, stuck around, moved in once actually Kevin went aggressive and picked up the kill. Very nice play.
That massacre being used perfectly by Darien, so winning out that lane, and that's no small feat up against Kevin, who we talked about, you know, the top KDA, the really by far leading member of the top lane.
And that's even a bigger advantage for Gambit, the fact that he's winning on CS, but he actually didn't win 1 versus 1. Oh, they're going on Edward.
Zenith Blade on Edward, but I'm not too sure whether they're going to follow through on this one. Jerry does try and keep the pressure on towards him, and he happily just pops that molten shield and walks away.
So again, it's an issue for Kevin, the fact he can actually beat Darren 1v1, but he can't simply kill him though. Will we potentially see a fight? They're going in!
Zenith Blade on Edward, Solar Flare's going to follow through this time, they will take him down! The kick from RNA forces him straight back, Kraton gets the kill.
And very nice use here of both Safeguard on the hunt and also Jiri to go in, land the CC, pick up the kill. This could potentially be a dragon for Millenium, but Diamond is nearby. Will he try and stop this one?
He may try and sneak in on this, he has been spotted out there, Zenith Blade doesn't quite land, and Genja's doing a lot of work off the side, and that's going to force him away. The damage on Kraton, Genja takes himself down. He's going to go on towards RNA now. We do see Curve coming around the side, but Alex Hitch is going to head them off. He forces them away. Diamond's going to continue following. We do see Never Move landing on Alex Hitch, but Curve could be the focus target now. Diamond coming around one side, Genja on the other. The hate spike's landing through. Curve has to flash away.
Very, very big mistake by Millenium and Kraton. Kraton, he was tanking the dragon while the rest of Millenium were moving away. So he got so low that Genja could come in from the side with Diamond, pick up an easy kill, and then chase them down. And the damage from Curve, we just saw it here, is not where it should be yet. He needs some items first.
Big wave being pushed up by Kevin. Darien was off at the side there, taking down the golems. He's just going to farm out. Hasn't got that blood well available yet. Uses the ultimate already. Kevin may be able to take him down here. Repels away. The Ignite does the job. Walks away like a boss.
Again, he's behind in CS, but he's still actually winning the lane just by the fact he can constantly go onto Darien and try and pick up a kill. This was again due to the fact he took the passive from Darien early on, that he simply just dived him. He had the Ignite ready, just went straight on him, and we saw the execute on Spider-Form Q, how good it is versus someone like Aatrox, who's always low on HP.
And that Haunting guy is completely starting to look a lot more focused in that top lane. Of course, we did see Darien go back and get that Negatron cloak, so he's trying to counter it as best he can, but as you just saw, not really working out so well for Darien just yet. He did, of course, get that kill with the help of Diamond earlier on.
That was important for him, but just the fact that you can actually get dived 1v1, and there's no risk of even Kevin dying, that is a big issue, because he will keep doing this, he'll keep trying to do it. It means Diamond has to put more attention on top lane, and less on maybe mid or bot lane. And we saw if Aeonir can come down bot again, with the ultimate from Leona to start the fight, they should be able to pick up some more kills, while Diamond is stuck in the top lane trying to help out Darien.
We're seeing these two mid laners, they've been farming pretty well. We do see actually Alex Hitch is ahead by around about 10 CS because they did try and force Curve out of lane earlier. But how are they going to transition? How is it going to work? We're up to level 10 now. Once we start getting into that team fight phase, who is the better to have on your team?
Both actually have their own kind of role. You have the more utility-based Lulu, who's going to help out the rest of the team, speed them up, slow the enemy team down. Gonna have some decent damage. Same actually goes to Swain. He has decent damage as well. He's never gonna hit the point where he just destroys someone, like one-shots them. But he's gonna be very tanky, very hard to deal with. I expect him to also pick up a Sonyas, so he's gonna be even more hard to kill. And Jerry going aggressive in bot.
Edward caught out once again. Solar Flare this time used. Diamond does come down, but he wasn't there close enough. We can see RNA just walking away from this one. They could do nothing to stop Edward going down yet again.
And once again, the combo from Millenium with Leona and with the Lee Sin. Pop down the ultimate from Leona, CC a target, he safeguards in, and he picks up an easy kill.
And this is what, you know, we talked about, the fact that once they hit that level 6, level 7, it is full engage from Jerry. He's just farming Edward right now.
And that's actually what he's doing to go on Genja now.
Well, Zenith Blade caught on Genja and he doesn't panic too much and instead just turns around and keeps those double attacks going from Lucian.
But Millenium is doing what they should do with this lane. Yes, they knew they would lose early on, but they just waited for level 6 before Aeonir actually showed there for the real gank. And as soon as they were level 6, they just started ganking it. They can keep doing this, because next time around, if Edward flashes the ultimate, you just wait for it to be ready again from Leona, and you just do the same. Again and again, there's no chance for Gambit to actually stop it.
Speaking of doing the same, Kevin is putting more pressure back onto Darien. Has got his blood well available now, but I think we're starting to see Kevin start to dominate this lane. You can see that tower taking a lot of damage. Darien constantly going away. Kerp in the mid lane, he's taking pressure from Alex Hitch. You can see keeping that Glitter Lance going, keeping that Pix running on towards him. Never Move is going to get used off, but Alex Hitch is dominating this lane now.
And the blue buff from Alex means he can just spam out his Q all the time onto Kerp. And Kerp can't really get to him because it's very hard to land in Nevermore from max range. So it's easy for Alex to just stay back, constantly poke him, shove the wave down. Kerp is still doing a fairly good job farming, especially also on the tower. And he also has his Rod of Ages, which is his key item early on.
Sweeping lens from Eddie. Going to take down that dragon. Genja starts it off. I don't think Edward really fancied tanking that dragon there. He wasn't too happy with his AD carry, but they will start trying to take it down. Aranea has managed to land that Sonic Wave. Don't think he landed it on towards him. Has to safeguard in, and now he's in trouble. Solar Flare comes out from Jerry, but he's going to have to try and back away from this one. Edward taking a lot of damage. Puts Tibbers down on towards Ed. Aranea has to safeguard away on towards that minion, but we see Alex is chasing in there. He's got nowhere to go. Oh, catches the Sonic Wave on towards the golems and gets away like that. Nicely done. Diamond's still not done yet. He's looking to come around the bottom lane. We see Jerry very low. He could land those hate spikes. Goes in towards him. One more hate spike. The shield is on him. Diamond's going to try and finish him off here. He's going to get one more hit. The hate spike should manage to land the brain. He does manage to flash towards it. Kraton. Oh, that boomerang blade is going to come back. Lands damage on Diamond, but he gets away. Alex Ditch comes around the side. Picks him straight off. We didn't quite catch it on the corner there, but Kraton goes down.
And that was such a nice chase by Gambit. Everything actually started when Millenium went in 3 vs 3 on the dragon, and now Kerp being caught out.
Darian going on towards Kerp. How is this one going to work out? Top laner versus mid laner. We do see Kerp. He's going to pop that ultimate. Can he try and get the lifesteal? The Ignite was running. He's going to be able to jump straight on towards him, Darian. Remember, Darian's got Bloodwell. Alex Hitch comes in. Kerp is going down. Alex gets himself another.
And Gambit is simply punishing Millenium every time they make a wrong move on the map. First of all, they went in to try and stop the dragon 3 vs 3, while Alex he had shoved the wave in mid lane all the way down to the turret, so he could roam, Kerp couldn't. That meant he could come in, join the fight from Gambit after they killed the dragon, chased them down, picked up 2 kills. Later on, Darren, he just abandoned his top lane turret because he knew he couldn't defend it, and he went down mid, and Kerp, he was pushing out the wave, caught out of position, and then Alex could join in as well and pick up another kill. So the fact that Alex had the pressure in mid and were able to roam, and then Millenium was kind of a little bit too aggressive, they actually ended up losing a lot of kills, and also the dragon.
We'll see how the fact that Darian's not building tank whatsoever, he's going full aggression. Got that Ravenous Hydra already completed, along with that Negatron cloak he picked up a long time ago. In terms of teams, what are we going to see? We're starting to get to that 5v5 stage, although Genja again, this is the most aggressive Genja I've seen in a long time, by the way.
He really wants to get some kills. Like, he was probably mad not being here last week because he couldn't speak English properly, so he's here now. He wants his revenge, picking up kills, being very aggressive in lane. Early Bloodthirster also, getting some good stacks on this one. Or not early, but a Bloodthirster. Going in towards the static shift for some more wave clear and also some more upfront burst. But what we can expect is most likely to Darren to try and stay in this top lane and push. That's why he has the Hydra to shove out the wave even faster. But Kevin, he will be able to hold him and also duel him early. Or duel him 1v1.
Of course, we did have dragon control for Gambit as well. Continuing to keep their dragon stats. I think that's what, 42 dragons I believe they've taken. I think they're one of the league leaders in terms of taking dragons down, as opposed to what, Fnatic's 21 it was before the start of the game. Crazy stuff. So Gambit really have great objective control, and now we're seeing potentially Darian, well, he's actually off at the side, but it's going to be Lucian that they're focusing on the hunt being used. Zenith Blade does land. Solar Flare's going to follow through. Genja taking so low. He's going to get dropped. It's J-Ree that picks up the kill. Meanwhile, Gambit, they were trying to make a play on Kerp in mid.
So once again, we see the same gang in bot lane, same procedure, pop Civi ultimate, Jerry goes in, lands the stun, and then Aranea is there, helping ping up the kill. Meanwhile though, Kerp, he might get dive here.
Kerp getting caught out, he's in trouble, he's not going to get out of this one. It's going to be Gambit with a revenge on that mid lane, and they may take themselves an inner turret while they lose the outer down the bottom.
And this is the second time Darren is roaming from the top lane and Kevin is staying top. He's just shoved the wave all the way out, while Darren, he was gone for a long time. They actually spotted him early on where he failed the first dive because Kevin flashed. Kerp flashed. Kevin, he stayed top. He didn't even go down to try and help. So Kerp, he was left alone at the turret. Easy dive for Gambit. And all in all, what Darren has just been doing is just shove the wave, go down mid, try and set something up against Kerp.
Kevin is going to try and catch out Genja here, but he is playing this very cautiously, staying well away from that corner edge. Doesn't want to get too close to the jungle. And he will just take down this minion wave. Kevin's still laying in wait. Is he going to try and land that cocoon? Oh, Genja's going to walk around to it. Doesn't land the cocoon. Not even close. Genja was easily going to dash out of that one.
Yeah, Kevin was hoping for him to actually go down to the golems and then he could catch him out, but he spotted him. Wisely enough, he just dashed the cocoon. No chance to take him from Genja's side.
Spider going to go in. Not going to happen. Genja gets the gold. They're going to go back. Genja gets the gold again. Can't mess with an AD carry when it turns the last hit in. They are kings of that game.
So we have a Giants build now onto Kevin's side, so you want to build a bit more tanky. Maybe for the team fights, you could potentially go for something like a Sunfire to be a bit more hard to kill, at least for someone like Genja. And it would be very smart with this very physical lineup as well, with both Aatrox and Genja doing a lot of damage in the fights.
You know, talking about the kings of last hits, Genja is absolutely dominating Kraton in terms of farm right now. He's got a 50 CS lead, and this is a massive danger side for Millenium, because Gambit, as we talked about, generally are not that strong in the lane phase, yet when we see Genja, the AD carry, who normally is off on his own farming, which he's kind of trying to do now, when he's ahead, he will be looking for kills, and that may well be what he's doing right now.
And it seemed also because they had this very strong early lane. We saw it when they just locked in Annie and Lucian as the first 2 picks. We knew they were going for to win the lane, and we knew they wanted to win this one, and then later on, they want to have Genja in front, have some kills on him, and then be very, very strong in the teamfight, so they don't have to rely on him split pushing to get some farm later on.
Alexic and Darien deep in enemy territory here. Jayree's going to come in there, but Darien fancies this one. He's going to try and turn that damage back around. He will take away the red buff. He's going to try and walk away. Kraton wants to pop that Bloodwell. He can just jump straight into the Dragon Pit.
And that was such a Darien move. He did the red buff, he was more or less alone. Alex was nearby, but still far away, and they're catching out Kevin.
Kevin in all sorts of trouble. Where's he going to repel to? Has to flash away. The Glint is going to come through. Nevermore finds through. Alexic punts it in, tries to flash away, but he goes straight into the jaws of Kraton.
And this combo from Millenium is so good at catching out targets. This time around it was actually Kevin being caught, but due to his repel and then flash into the rest of his team, they could pop the ultimate from Kraton and just go in, pick up a kill, and potentially this mid turret.
But they've got no minions. They have to tank it out. They should be able to take it down. There's the minion line coming in now, but it is a little late. You can see Jayree will tank it through. They're going to keep pushing because looking at the top, looking at the bottom, we do see Genja and Darien continuing to farm.
Darien is moving up here. He's still far away. Diamond is on the side. He wants to try and get a flank engage. Edward is there with Tibos and Flash. Gambit, they can go for this one when Darien is close by.
Darien comes in. He's going to go head to head with the team. Realizes he can't take 4-on-1. Does try and back away. Diamond tries to get a little pick on towards Jayree. Steps off to the side. Darien continues to get chased. Oh, he's caught up by Aranea. Aranea doesn't have that kick available. And now they may try and turn this one. Diamond's coming in the side. Still doesn't have that ultimate available though. So it would be very aggressive move for him.
But the Dragon is up now, and Gambit want to make sure they don't give it for free to Millenium. They want this Dragon again. They are so good at timing these and also setting up the right fights. But there's full vision in this Dragon Pit for Millenium, and there are 5 members. Will they potentially go for it? Or it looks like they're just going to back off and try and steal it with Aranea.
They're going to see if Aranea can go for it. He's waiting in the wings. He's got that ward there. No pink ward's being spotted, so he has perfect timing on this one, Aranea. He's going to try and catch Diamond out. Not fast enough. Didn't fancy it.
No, didn't fancy it. Wise enough by him. Don't want to give up a kill. He didn't have his flash either to get out again. He would have to rely on actually being able to get to the edge and then safeguard over.
Well, wards from Genja placing out. So as you can see, it is a near 6,000 gold lead for Gambit. A 4-4 in turret, so all square so far. In a turret in the mid lane down for Gambit. Meanwhile, of course, the mid lane also down for Millenium. So big open mid lane so far.
And we'll have to see later on which defensive items the teams go for, because both combos actually have very good amount of physical damage, but also amount of magic damage. Millenium may be lacking a little bit due to only having Sivir, but also Lee Sin, he does provide some physical damage, and Sivir itself will be fairly strong, will be able to dish out some good damage. And on Gambit's side, you have Lulu, Evelyn, and Annie with the magic damage, and then you have the 2, Lucian and Darien, with their physical damage. So we need to see how Millenium actually wants to build defenses, and also how Gambit will.
So is Genja going to go for a QSS here, Quicksilver Sash, to try and get out of those stunts, or will it be a Ghost, a Guardian Angel?
I think a Guardian Angel will be the better for him, or maybe a Banshees to stop the ulti coming down from Leona. Simply what he can do is just staying far back when the engage actually happens from Millenium side, and then join in as soon as all the ultimates from Leona is gone, the hard CC is gone. Oh yeah, go Guardian Angel in case you should be caught out, or simply go Banshee to block the ultimate.
We'll see which way it develops. As it stands, Darien's off on his own, and it's a 3-1 split push, which we've seen Roccat pretty much developing, and the rest of the league starting to mimic throughout the season now. We can see Alexic along the top, Darien on the bottom, but Millenium, they're going to try and push that mid lane again.
They want to just more or less force Gambit to move away from these lanes because they don't want to go duel them one by one. Genja, he's out of position here. Millenium could potentially try and shove this one up, but look at here. Darien coming in from the side again, Lulu on the other side. Gambit might fancy a fight.
It's a big pincer move for Gambit. I'm not too sure if they want to make it, and they are going to slowly back away. Potential Baron opportunity for Millenium, but it would be suicidal surely with Gambit still with 5 members available. Darien and Kevin, meanwhile, in this mid lane, are going to get aggressive upon. Darien will just get away, but the Cocoon's going to land. The rest of Millenium coming in, but a quick culling coming out. Darien has to flash away from that one. Genja now going to get caught out. He's going to run for it. Solar Flare lands. Millenium pounce, and Genja has to dash away from this one. Darien may well be the sacrificial lamb. He has got Bloodwell available. The rest of Gambit come in there. Diamond manages to land his ultimate across all of Millenium, and now Alexic focuses on towards Kevin. Kevin goes down. Kerp running for his life. Nevermore not going to land in the right spot, and he has to flash away as well. Darian's going to jump straight in towards him. Doesn't manage to land the damage. Edward with Tibbers already down, but Gambit get themselves the kill.
So there was such a long chase by Millenium. They popped the Sibi ultimate, they popped the Unum ultimate. Alex, he wants more.
Oh, Kraton's going to go down here. That's just going to be a pop from Alex Hitch. Sped himself up, and that is the bonus of a Lulu. You have a massive speed buff. Darian, meanwhile, he's kiting Kerp, and the rest of Gambit are closing in towards him. Where are you going to go? Flash Tibbers again, not Flash Tibbers, Flash Stun. Doesn't matter, got excited. Kerp's going to go down. Nevertheless, who will it be that gets the kill? J.V. goes down the bottom as well, and that is 3 kills with no response for Gambit.
So funny enough, it's actually Millenium who starts the whole chase. Pop the Sibi ultimate, pop the Leona ultimate onto Genja, who escapes, and then the rest of Gambit simply comes around, joins in for the fight. We saw Diamond flashing the wall, popping ultimate down to 5 members, starting everything for Gambit. And then they start chasing on to Millenium. And due to Lulu with the speed up, she managed to catch on to Kraton, pick that kill, and damn, he just around. Aranea now going in.
Aranea kicks Darian. I don't think he cares. He's just going to keep on hitting the turret. Quite happy to take a hill. He will get caught by Kevin. He's going to go down. Darian's dead. It will be Kraton that picks up a kill, but they got themselves a next inner turret.
Definitely worth it for Gambit. They got the turret, and also Millenium is far, far away. They won't be able to go for something like Baron because they're not in position at all. Edward, he will be caught out.
Edward is in all sorts of trouble. The repel will show him up there. He does manage to get the stun on Kevin. No, can he walk away from this one? He hasn't got flash, remember. And Kevin is going to catch on towards him. Dodge the Cocoon. No, not quite. And it's Kraton that gets himself a second on the hunt used by Kraton.
Yeah, very nice again. Kraton comes in, pop the ultimate, they get a kill. He's actually having 4 kills already. Yes, he died 4 times, but he still managed to pick up some good kills. Behind in farm, but he's going to get the items he needs. And if he can get that, Millenium still have a chance to win fights.
While Millenium are chasing the kills here, I've got to pick out that Gambit, they're pushing the lanes. You can see the top lane again. It's been pushed in by Alex Hitch, and now they're coming in from the side. Diamond gets on towards Aranea. Jerry taking the culling in the backside. Solar Flare being used to lock Genja up, and the Nevermore landed. Alex Hitch finally coming around the side, but they haven't got the damage. Now they're going to try and turn this one around. Kevin running up that river. Aranea going to try and focus on towards him, but the 3 members of Gambit have forced Millenium away again.
Very messy engage actually from Gambit, but they're so far ahead, or at least they feel so far ahead, they can do these engages and force Millenium to back off. And the thing about pushing all the lanes, you have Lulu who goes 1 lane, very easy for you to push. We talked about the Hydros earlier from Darren. It means he's just going to go down to the 1 lane, constantly shove it out very, very fast. Look how fast he's clearing these waves. So he will always keep them pushed out, and then he can move towards the mid lane if something should happen.
We'll see which way Genja does go with that build, because at the moment he's gone for another BF sword. He wants to get that damage on there. Takes down the large Wraith. Millenium weren't sniffing him out, but it's Gain. It's Darian. Look at him, all on his own, shoving that bottom.
And the funny thing is, the last time these two teams faced each other, it was the same thing they actually did, where Gambit, they just decided not to go straight up for teamfights unless they were in a perfect position for it, and just split pushed every single lane constantly, forcing Millenium to try and react and get into some bad fights. They have done the hunt and they wanted to start the fights, but they haven't been picking the right ones.
Aranea would love nothing more than to secure a victory over Gambit. It's one of the bogey teams they consider. You saw him in the feature earlier on. But Gambit, with that timing on the Dragon, are ready. Alex is a long way away from this one. It could be a 5-on-4. Alex running down the river.
He will be there fairly fast. Look how fast he's actually moving on the minimap with his W, speeding up again. Yeah, he might be caught out.
He's caught out, but straight away, Wild Growth used very early on by Alex Hitch, and they're going to turn this fight on towards Millenium, push running them away. We do see the Cocoon landing on Diamond. Millenium quick to disengage.
And Dragon is up, Gambit is moving towards him as 5. This can be a really, really big fight and a very game-changing fight. Millenium, they need to win this one.
There's a lot of ultimates still available for both teams. Of course, that Solar Flare could be key, as well as the Tibbers. You can see just off at the side. Flash is now available. Tibbers is ready and waiting, locked and loaded for Edward. He's trying to get himself invisible just off at the side. He wants to land. They're so well bunched up right now, Millenium. They have to be so careful of this ability going in there. Edward's going to bide his time. It is now available. Solar Flare goes in there. Eddie's still not going to use it. Does try and catch on towards it, but that's a kill for Darian. On towards J-Ree. Kraton running on the hunt used, but Kerp has been singled out. It's Lulu getting himself a second kill for Alex Hitch, and Gambit played that one perfectly.
Millenium, they cannot collapse onto Gambit. 1 guy goes in, 2 guys goes back, and it simply means it was too easy to more or less just kill J-Ree. There's still Tibbers up for Edward. He didn't even have to use it. Ultimate from Alex also ready. Didn't use it at all in the fight, and it was just too easy for them because Millenium went in like 1 by 1. Kirk didn't even join the fight. He just stayed out. Poppy's ultimate didn't hit anyone. It was simply too easy for Gambit to get the kill.
And the thing, I mean, on the Wild Growth was used obviously by Genja just before it onto Genja, so they knew that ultimate was down. Yet Millenium were just so fearful of the Gambit lineup now and the pressure they have. Of course, they're so far ahead. You can tell it's a 10,000 gold lead. They just didn't want to engage.
And notice here, by the way, everybody's actually in a good position to land at Tibbers, but due to the fact that Millenium, they don't want to go in as the entire team here. Notice how Kirby's staying back up here in the corner. Jerry is actually the only one in the middle of the fight. Kevin, he didn't do anything. The entire team fight. Kirsten popped the ultimate, and Aranea was too low. He had to back off instantly. Too easy simply for Gambit to just pick up 3 kills and then the Baron.
Just completely picking him off. Meanwhile, Kevin, he's got caught out here. Diamond's on him. You can see Alex is just at the bottom of your screen. He's going to come around. This duel is lasting, but Darian's coming round. That is not a good sign when the jungler takes down the top laner.
And it's more or less been the story here, because Gambit is so far ahead that pretty much every member from Gambit can actually beat whoever is going against them from Millenium's side. So it simply means they can just keep doing the split pushing. Yeah, the ultimate is still ready for Evelyn.
Didn't even need to use that ultimate. Of course, he had the Baron buff on him, so it's almost a suicidal engage by Kevin, but he felt he could have taken him down. But it turns out, no, Kevin, you are not that strong right now. Kerp, thought he was going to go straight towards the bush of Alex Ich instead. It's Millenium warding out, going full defensive duty.
And if you look at the items onto Millenium's side, we do have the Sonya's onto Kerp, but he doesn't really have any damage. He needs to get in there, he needs to tank up a lot of damage, but he won't be able to deal the same amount back to Gambit. That's the big issue, because they're going in here.
And focusing in, but go! Look at that! Darian catches 4 members there, quickly catching in. Solar Flare does a good job at stopping them though, and Gambit will get locked up. Look at Alex Ich using that speed buff, trying to get in around the side. Kerp tries to force him away there, but the rest of Gambit are going to keep on moving.
And they can push down this mid lane turret now if they can actually group up as a team. Genja, he's still up towards the top, but he's moving down, joining in with the rest of Gambit. Tibbers is up if they want to start a fight.
The movement of Alex Ich is starting to become scarier on that Lulu. Of course, he gets a bonus. All that ability power locks up to crazy movement speed. We could see some very fast play coming out. They're going to keep on pushing on towards this inhibitor turret. They have that Baron buff on them, remember, but it's a good poke from Millenium, keeping them bay.
But it's also very good damage from Gambit actually onto this turret. Notice how Alex, he can just shield himself or Genji when they go in, keep them fairly safe from the turret, get some good damage on it, and then Darian, he just walks straight in, hits the turret, jumps out. He's not even scared of anything.
Well, now he's got that Guardian Angel on. He's quite happy. He's effectively got 2 lives, that Bloodwell, of course, and the Guardian Angel. There is going to be a lot to stop Darian. He's going to be a damaging monster. Again, good Nevermore this time around, but Darian again slam dunks on towards Millenium, and you'll see the rest of Gambit rushing through the team. Millenium just dropping like flies, the culling coming out there, but it was all about Alex Ich and Darian just dunking on Millenium.
And there's simply no damage from Millenium's side. They can do nothing against Gambit in this team fight because there's so many things they have to go through. Guardian Angel, revive onto Darian. There's also the shield from Diamond's ultimate. There's the shield from Alex, his ultimate. Millenium don't have the damage to take them down, and Gambit knows this.
And Diamond didn't even use his ulti in that last fight. It's only just come back available. Kraton, Alex Ich trying to catch on towards him. Kevin does come around the corner though, didn't quite get that last hit, Alex Ich.
Look at the very scary amount of damage Alex actually has. He has the 3 core items. Kevin might even go aggressive.
What are you doing, Kevin? I don't think you can even take this fight. Alex Ich quite happy to just running around. Aranea maybe found himself a Genja, but he's got no support.
So we have the Banshee completed onto Genja. It means it's going to be even harder to lock him up. No matter what you throw at him, you need to pop the Banshee first, otherwise you won't get to him. And even if you should get to him, he has some tankiness. He has again the shields from Alex, the ultimate. They won't be able to kill him.
So let's talk about Diamond's build, because as has been proven many times in the past, he literally rolls dice at the start of a game and says, these are the items I'm going to pick, we'll see how it goes. He's 3-0-10 once again, and he is a monster.
But it's very, very smart because he's so tanky. Again, with his shield from ultimate, when he engages, if he gets people to go on him, because he's so tanky, he has both armor, MR, he has some good amount of health, and also he has some damage because of his AP and also his Hex Drinker to provide some decent damage. So he's actually a threat they have to deal with, but he's also so hard to kill. They don't really have a choice in going on him, but they won't even be able to kill him. So it's a very smart build overall. You could potentially go for something like a Random to completely shut down Kraton's damage.
Well, Kraton's ultimate may well be on the hunt, but it's Diamond that's looking for kills right now. And Kraton has to be careful he doesn't get caught out too far up the lane.
Darian has a mana moon.
Darian has a mana moon.
Really, Darian? Really?
He just builds what he likes. That's what he goes with. And Alex Ich now has found Kraton. Oh, that shield just about saving him. No, Alex Ich got the kill.
That was the actual damage from getting the Void stuff he didn't have before when he went in to try and kill Kraton. This time around, he just popped him. And now the mana immune, Darian, he's gonna go crazy on this turret.
And he's gonna go crazy, and that's gonna be the turret going down. No problem there. He will get caught out, and the inhibitor will follow. No problem there from Gambit. 18-7 in kills, and honestly, Gambit have looked dominant. This is a return of the old Gambit. You know, I wonder what it'd be like with a week off, and it seems that it just made them much stronger.
They've been very, very strong. They got a great combo just for them, and now they're looking to close out this game.
Well, Gambit may well going to be looking to finish this one out. Solar Flare going to go down. Not a lot going to be finishing from it. Darien just gets himself away. Look at the attack speed of Darien. He's got a buff from Alex Ich, and they're just cleaving down the Nexus. They're going for KDA right now. They want to get themselves some kills. You can see just off at the side there, Eddie being focused out. It's had to tell a lie. It's Genja that's down the side there. They're going to take the Nexus down. It will be Gambit closing out the match, taking down Millenium.
And that
was week 7.
Overall, such a strong game by Gambit.